Yo. So, for the last few weeks, I've been struggling. I've been stifled when it comes to actually creating on this YouTube channel. Originally, I wanted to do a video a week. And I stuck to that the very first two videos, but this third video was just kind of hard because when I actually looked at everything that I wrote down as far as like video ideas, they were more like essays, I guess you could say. I never wanted to get on YouTube to be a essay creator or, you know, the type of person who tells you all this information, that just spits facts at you. That's just not really what I want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. And not to say that I won't do that in the future, a video or two here or there, but that's just not what I want to do right now. I want to make films. I want to showcase my work. I want to be hired to do work. And I want to make money with my camera to support myself and my family. So that's what I'm going to focus more on. I'm going to focus more on creating things and showing my process on this YouTube channel. So this week, we got to figure out something to do with this thing. I have yet to shoot anything long form other than small little tests here or there with this camera. And I feel like it's time. So today I'm going to show my process of maybe shooting a mini short film with just me in my house by myself with everything that I have inside of this house. So let's get to doing that. Little brain juice. So what kind of film can one shoot with no budget, one location, and one actor? A horror. And lucky for me, that actually turns out to be one of my favorite genres. I love horror. I've written horror, I put out some horror shorts, and I felt like they suffered because I didn't have the budget or the time to create an on-screen monster. So those films suffered because I wrote those films with the intention of showing a monster, showing something, you know, causing the main characters the distress. This film is going to be a little bit different. I plan on not actually showing what's haunting the main character. I'm not necessarily scared of what's on the screen or what I can see. I'm scared of what I can't see. So with this film, I'm gonna have to be creative with what the actual entity is on screen. So with that being said, I plan on using a lot of darkness. I plan on using creative angles, you know, to the best of my ability to make this film. I want to keep this, you know, screenplay less than 5 pages. I don't plan on this having a lot of dialogue because, like I said, it's just me. There will be some, but there won't be a lot. So let's get to writing. Let's figure this out. Okay, so I was able to keep this under 8 pages. It's about 7 pages. And there's not a lot of dialogue because it's just me. So there's some dialogue, not a lot. Basically, it's about someone being haunted by the remnants of whoever lived in this place before him. I'm gonna have to do some video effects. I haven't done VFX in a long time. Not really looking forward to that, but the idea that I have in my mind should work. It should work. So now we just need to figure out exactly what we're going to use to shoot this film, because I know I'm shooting on the Komodo, but I don't know if I want to use the Helios lens or if I want to use the Sigma to 18 to 35. The 18 to 35 will give me the wideness that I need, but the Helios will give me the look that I want. But shooting on the Helios, it's hard shooting on this lens because everything feels so tight, and I don't really like that. Well, I mean, I do, but not for this. So I'm thinking of going with the 18 to 35, which that's what I'm shooting on right now. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. So it is almost dark. It's 4 o'clock now. We're waiting for the sun to go down because we need it to be dark to shoot this film. So I'll probably be shooting for most of the night. Hopefully not, but most of the night. This film, it's gonna be dark. I don't plan on using a lot of lights. If any, I'm gonna use the Nanlite Pavo tube and the Aputure MC. These are 2 lights that I purchased back in the past. And to be honest, they were probably the only lights that I had that were app controllable. I really like that I could put this light up high and just control it from the app. So that's gonna be really helpful, you know, seeing as I'm a solo shooter. If needed, I may use the Amaron 300C. I don't feel like I'm gonna use it because it's too bright. That's the brightest light that I own. So it's there if I need it, just in case. Don't foresee me using it, you know, just foresee me strictly using just the Aputure MC and the Pavo tube for this. I favor the MC a little bit more because I feel like the Pavo tube is just always dying, and that doesn't help. But those are the lights that I plan on using. So only thing next is to just start shooting. First night of shooting. Tonight, I'm just really gonna be getting like pickups, you know, just inserts of shots, you know, just little quick stuff. I'm probably gonna shoot this over a few days just because I don't really want to rush, because I feel like if I try to do all of it in one night, I'm not gonna be able to get, you know, all the coverage that I want. I took a few days, did some storyboards. I usually don't storyboard. I usually just try to, you know, go by my head. But since this is, you know, there's so many shots or so many ideas that I have for this, I felt like doing the storyboard would help. I put it on paper. You know, I'm old school. I like to draw mine, you know. And I know there's all these programs out here, but, you know, I feel like a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, you know, it can flesh it out a whole lot faster than, you know, you could with computer software. Computer software will work better if you're like dealing with a team or other people. And if you have the time and the budget for it, then of course to use it. But if you don't, piece of paper and a pen, it works. So I have the Komodo X set up. I have the Nano Pavo tube light on the C-stand, which that's gonna be the main light here in the kitchen, with the actual practical light, you know. First shot set up, like I said, we're just gonna do all the inserts. We're gonna do a bunch of inserts tonight. To try to get as many as I can done tonight. And then probably after that, I'll probably go into the shooting. I really want to wait until I get my wireless kit, my wireless lav kit to do, you know, the more, you know, with any dialogue. With the dialogue, I want to use the wireless lav that I have coming in, but it won't be here until next week. Don't know if I can wait that long because I kind of want to get this shot by the end of the week so I can have it finished by this weekend. But we'll just see how it goes. So let's go ahead and hop in, start shooting, get our shots, and, you know, hopefully we can make a good movie. So that's night one. I got a lot of the insert shots that I was supposed to get here in the kitchen. I probably won't move to the second, part, the bathroom tonight, which, that's just a couple shots. I could do that any other time, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead after I get this last shot. I'm gonna go ahead and cut for tonight and probably pick back up tomorrow when I have a little bit more time. So I'm hoping this turns out good. I don't really know what it's gonna look like. So, just sometimes you just gotta say F it and shoot, you know what I'm saying? And not care and just shoot, do the best that you can. Okay, so shooting the second scene, getting everything set up. It's gonna be a little tight in here, so I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. Took a little break in between shooting. Ended up shooting another film, which I put out on my YouTube channel, on the channel if you want to check it out. Shot a little mini documentary. It was something, personal, wanted to shoot that. So I shot that, got it edited, put it out, shot everything on the red. It was actually fun. I really enjoyed it. So now we're gonna hop back into this to go ahead and get this film shot. And after we get this film shot, we can move on. So let's get started. So we're gonna do a quick costume change. And then we're gonna hop into this first shot and go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna I don't have any mounting spots in this closet, and this opening scene is gonna be here in this closet. So I'm gonna use one of my green screen pipes. You can interlock them, but they're too long for me to interlock. So I'm gonna try to finagle it up here with super clamps. And these are so useful. I don't know how I went so long in filmmaking and not own these. And this thing was like $20. This is small rig. I know there's like newer and there's a bunch of other ones, but I just happened to get the small rig. They probably all do the same. I think I got this one because it came with a spigot, and I felt like that was a good deal. So I bought this for 20 bucks. I'm gonna buy more eventually. I need to add more of these because these things are freaking awesome. So I have the super clamp, I have it there. I have the actual pipe going through the spigot, super clamp, and the spigot is attached to the pipe, and it's just resting on the other side. So then that way I can have a good, mounting spot for this light, because like I said, I'm only using natural light, and the Pavo 2 is actually, kind of lit the entire first scene. So yeah, let's get to shooting. So for the final day, I didn't turn on the BTS camera. The BTS camera was slowing me down tremendously because I was so worried about trying to set that camera up and set, the main camera, the red, up to actually capture the shots that I wanted for the short film. So the last day I didn't set it up. I actually stepped away from this film for a little bit and, took a gig. I went to South Carolina and did some work and, I just started working on a couple of other things. But, I was able to capture how I mounted the Komodo to the window in my kitchen. I used this Move Max car mount that I found. I did a lot of research trying to find a car mount because I wanted a solid car mount for another short film that I plan on shooting in the future. And this kind of came up. It's reasonably priced. It's about $80, and I felt like it was totally worth the money because it is just solid, man. Like, it held the Komodo with no issues on the window in my kitchen. I used it in my car. I set up a few shots, driving in my car, a few shots. It is a very solid piece of gear. So if you're in the market for a car mount, the Move Max, check it out. I wish I was sponsored by them. That'd be awesome, but I'm not. But check it out. So, the short film should be out soon. I'm diligently working on it here and there, trying to get it done. Red footage is just, it is large, man. Red footage is huge, and when you're trying to do video effects, it makes it, even worse because there are a few effects in this film that I'm doing. And, that's taking a little time to get done. So hopefully this film will be out soon. I'm working, like I said, and trying to juggle, multiple projects at once. But it's a part of the filmmaking game, and I love it. So I appreciate everyone, for watching. Anybody, like, subscribe, share. I'd greatly appreciate that, helping this channel grow. I just want to continue to grow and, just continue, to enjoy what I'm doing. So I greatly appreciate everyone. Gonna finish working on this film, go ahead and get it done, and I will see you in the next one.